Yeah, thank you, Rasmus, and good afternoon. My name is, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Stefan Dierks from Tchibo, who Tchibo is, I will tell you a little bit later on, and I am working in a corporate responsibility department as a senior manager, and there I'm responsible for the coordination and steering of all environmental and climate protection measures at Tchibo and in our value chains. And I'm glad to have the opportunity today to give you at least a short insight and overview how we use carbon footprinting as a value chain management tool. Well, first of all, who is Tchibo? I don't know if everybody of you know this company. In Germany, it's very well known. 99% of Germans know Tchibo more than Miss Merkel, no, it's very well known. We are about 63 years old as a company, but I think especially in the States and so on, Asia, we are not so well known. And so a short introduction. We have a very unique business model. Our origin is the coffee. We are number 5 or 6 of the biggest coffee roasters of the world. So we are selling roasted coffee to our customers, as well as in our shops, fresh brewed coffee with snacks and so on. And also we are selling non-food consumer goods, beginning with clothing, textiles, jeans, and so on, over hardwares like kitchenware, bicycles, up to computers and other electronic devices. And that's a very unique business model. We are changing our consumer goods assortments every week a new world. And so the people or customers are very curious every week, oh, what's this week in the Tchibo shops? I should go there. And of course, we have web shops and so on. And additionally, we are offering different services, for example, green energy, mobile contracts, travel, brand corporations, and so on. And you see, it's quite a complex business model we are using, because we are sourcing from all over the world a lot of different products and services, and we always want to offer our customers the best possible quality for a very good price relation to the quality. Some figures, 3.5 billion euros revenue in 2011, 1,100 shops in Europe, Central and Eastern Europe. We have shop-in-shops, for example, in supermarkets and so on, and we are around about 12,000 employees. Well, and we have an aspiration. Our aspiration is to do our business 100% sustainable. Why do we have this aspiration? Because we depend on availabilities of good quality and good quantities of natural and, of course, also social resources. We depend on availability of good coffees, of good cotton, of good wood and paper, and many other natural resources. Of course, we depend on people, on human beings in the production sites of our partners, which are motivated and have the education and the training to produce good products. And of course, we need customers who are motivated to buy our products, not at least, of course. And so if we want to go on with this very special business model, not only the next 5 years, but the next 20, 50, or even 100 years, we have to change to do our business, and we have learned we have to change into a sustainable business. Well, how are we doing that? What are our principles and targets? We have integrated sustainability in our DNA, in our brand core, and also in our business strategy. That means there's no separated sustainability strategy. That's not useful to our point of view, but we have to integrate it into our core processes, in our core assortments, into our core strategies. We have integrated sustainability in our current strategy. Future needs heritage, and there's a clear target. We are on the way up to 100% sustainable business, and that means that all products, all assortments and processes shall meet at least basic requirements of regarding environmental and social aspects. and that throughout the whole value chain, the complete value chain, and of course undergoing now and in the future a continuous improvement process. We of course not satisfied with a basic level of sustainability. We always want to foster the development up to higher levels, certified levels, for example, levels of sustainability. Just to give you a short insight, what does it mean concrete for our processes and assortments regarding social responsibility in our non-food value chains. We will integrate up to 2015 500 suppliers with which we work in a long-term cooperation in our qualification program, which involves also social aspects as well as environmental aspects. Regarding the coffee, we want to have in 2015 the highest possible share of sustainable grown coffee. Other competitors say 100%. It's very, very ambitious to say 100%. It's only 3 years. 2015, up to 2015, and so we say we want the highest possible share. This year we will have about 25 to 22% sustainable coffee in our assortments. Same for cotton, the same or very similar challenges. Same for wood and paper. Here we have undergone a lot of projects up to now, so we say we will meet at least with 100% the criteria of our own standard forest tracing system, which exclude unwanted or illegal sources of wood and paper. It's one of the biggest challenge to exclude unwanted sources. There will be an EU regulation up to, from next year, and we want not only to fulfill this regulation, we are doing that already now, but we want to fulfill this, and for example, we are working very closely together with FSC certified products and producers. We have a lot of different other non-food assortments. We have a known program called Umwelt Plus. In English, it would be some kind like Environment Plus for our product design, in which we have defined at least basic requirements regarding ecological aspects, and of course all our assortments shall fulfill these criteria. And another last example regarding our logistics, we want to reduce the transport-related emissions of about 30% versus 2006. This is just a selection. A lot of different other targets, activities, and so are undergoing parallel. Yeah. How do we do that? How can we define the right measures to achieve these ambitious targets? As you have seen already, our value chains are very manifold and complex. For example, we are covering with our non-food assortments around about 75% of all existing non-food consumer goods assortments. So it's a bright variety of different products. And if we want to do the right things to foster environmental and also social conditions, and right means efficient and effective, we have to know what are the hotspots of social and environmental impacts in the value chains, in the whole value chains of the different products and assortments and the different processes. And therefore, we of course are using the knowledge out of LCAs and also carbon footprints. The beginning was of all these measures 3 to 4 years ago, as we have been a member of the German PCF pilot project conducted and steered by Thema 1, and this was the beginning of the system. And of course, it is not necessary to do for every product group, for every value chain, an own LCA or carbon footprinting, because you and we all together have undertaken a lot of different examinations, very good tested, third-party approved, and so on, LCAs. And the knowledge is publicly available, so it doesn't make sense to make this work once again, a second time. But in the most cases, the knowledge is already there, and of course we use this publicly available knowledge. So we using own analysis only on our core segments, assortments, or if we say here's a missing link because we have organized our value chain in another way, like other companies or like other participants in the branch and so on. In this case, of course, we do it very thoroughly with good partners, with third-party improvements, and so on, to be sure that we have the right knowledge about the hotspots. And then, with the knowledge about the hotspots, we derive good measures to reduce the environmental impacts. Just to give you a short overview about this. Now you can see here the product life cycle. I don't think I have to introduce it into this round here. The first step is always to do an examination of the different value chains with these tools, carbon footprinting, life cycle analysis, and also analysis of social aspects. And then we see what is the best phase of the product life cycle to act. And then we develop together with our colleagues, but also with external partners, measures to reduce the impacts. Umwelt Plus, our Environment Plus, is a project and a tool we use in the product design. We are designing our products on ourselves. It's the best solution to include into the technical and quality requirements of a product design before it is produced, environmental and social aspects. Therefore, we use Umwelt Plus. In the coffee branch, we have had the discussion with Martina Fleckenstein this morning. We are cooperating together with all international acknowledged standard organizations which foster the sustainable cultivation of coffee. This is a very good opportunity for our assortments, and the customers can select between different qualities and different focuses. For example, for trade, of course, more focuses on social aspects, while organic or rainforest alliance, there's a focus more on environmental aspects, and so on. And so we can offer our customers a wide variety of sustainable qualities. And of course, in this part of our work, coming back to your question, Rasmus, the PCFs, the carbon footprinting, the environmental footprinting is very useful, and also for the other phases of the life cycles to identify good measures to reduce the impacts, of course. But where does it not meet at the moment the requirements? If we wanted to communicate, hey, customers, here is a climate-compatible coffee or a climate-compatible cultivated coffee, we cannot at the moment be sure is that the case. Martina Fleckenstein told about the tools from Rainforest Alliance. Here's a colleague who has developed the Cool Farm tool, which is another climate-related cultivation tool, and so on and so on. But at the moment, there's no globally accepted way to prove that these cultivation methods are really climate compatible. And so we have initiated a project, as I said this morning, which was presented by PE International yesterday, in the framework of the Sustainable Agriculture Initiative platform, in which we develop a product category rule for the PCF of green coffee. And this is not mainly done for marketing purposes, but mainly for, I've heard it, okay, but for to be sure that we are doing the right things in the value chains and in the cultivations, and to have a common basis for further dialogue between the different partners in this coffee branch, and also to develop further useful measures. Same for cotton, same for wood paper, same for production sites, packaging, transport, sales, use, and last but not least, recycling. So just to give you a short, I could tell you a lot about the different projects, programs, and so on. And as you see, and that's very important to my opinion, we are not doing many of these things alone, but we're doing these things together with other organizations like NGOs, but also with governmental organizations, also, of course, with our business partners in the value chain, and so on and so on. This job cannot be done alone. It has to be done together in a joint effort. And I think this is one of the most important learning in all the different sustainability activities in the last years. Well, what are my conclusions and what's the outlook? Well, the approach we are using allows us an efficient and effective way of working. In my team, we have 4 or 5 persons. Of course, I have different other colleagues in other departments, quality, purchasing department, marketing department, and so on. But we have a lot of to do, and we cannot do that alone. So we have to work very efficient and effective, and I think we have reached some good progress with regard to some impacts. The main focus of all these activities is on action and positive impacts, and of course of the proof of these impacts, positive impacts, but not on communication or marketing. I want to remember you on the saying of Jakob Billerbehl this morning. I absolutely agree. We have to be able to prove and to measure the impacts and the GHG emissions and so on. Of course, a good and sound methodology is very important. And of course, we have to think about how to communicate all these, what we are doing and the positive impacts to our customers, especially to foster the sustainable consumption in general. It's of course very important. But I don't think this depends on any very, very correct numbers, but this depends on how to know what has to be done and then to act and to do something in the value chains, and then to think about how can I communicate it to the end consumer, and how can I inform him, and how can I convince him about sustainable consumption. Especially in Germany, the customers are very price sensitive, and if you call him you have to pay 50 cents more for coffee, it's nearby a German revolution. It's really the case. And so we have to inform and convince them, and I think we need therefore faces and pictures and good ways of communication. Of course, with a backup of good scientific proof, impacts and figures and so on. Yeah, it's a common effort, and but I want to repeat that what you said, Jakob. Where should be the main focus? And my opinion is on action and on positive impacts, and of course proof. Yes, we have gone some steps on our way up to 100% sustainable business, but the challenges are of course still big. And one of the main challenge, regardless if it's coffee, if it's cotton, if it's wood paper, if it's production side, ecological and social aspects, the main topic is to be able to disseminate sustainability know-how about all the different aspects. It's very complex in a very fast and effective way in all the global value chains with very different people from which have been grown in different cultures, different languages, and so on and so on. Yeah. And so we need more and new ways of cooperation. Of course, international, global. Of course, comprehensive, sector-wide, or cooperation between different sectors even. Of course, encouraged, I'm convinced we need new and encouraged ways of acting, and focused on real and effective changes in the value chains. And this change of the way we were working and acting can only happen on a basis of joint efforts with a common understanding of priorities, of definitions also, of course, and of necessities. And that's my appeal to you at the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.